quadrant has begun. So let's get ourselves into the game. It's myself, Odie Pixar, joined by Draskell, Andy. How we doing? And what do you reckon about the lineups from these two sides today?
I'm definitely on the same side as A-Mother here. I really think that Vega have the superior draft. They got some really sick death ball during mid-game, but you can't underestimate the team fight potential of just a Disruptor and a Venomancer. Those two heroes alone. If you're going to be doing this 5-man style, you eat like a 4 or 5-man Nova, you could be putting yourself in a really bad position, because armor doesn't really help you that much in that regard, and I can imagine ForceCL taking some pretty successful fights just based off that. And of course you have the Wisp Tiny to fall back on too. So you get to that late game stage, you can always go for the Rat. The one thing that Vega I think are going to struggle with a bit if they take the game late is not only the mobility that ForceCL have and just their vision with the Beastmaster Hawk, but they're going to be kind of lacking a bit of physical damage as well. Like if you don't get a weave on the Tiny IO, I think it's going to be kind of difficult for them to take him out later.
Okay, and also, I mean, just looking at Vega's lineup at the moment as well, in terms of kind of control and stuns, really, they're a little bit lacking. They're going to be relying on what the hook shot pretty much is the only kind of form of stopping Four Clovers getting around. And when you've got a Tiny high lineup, a lineup that, as you said, is going to be looking to be global, moving around the map a lot, that could potentially be a bit of an issue, surely, for Vega.
I think so. But Vega are the kind of team who, they pick this lineup, and their goal is to have enough control by like the 20-25 minute mark to just say, you can't come back anymore, you know? Like, we've taken all the outer 2 towers, we've gotten Roshan, we're pressuring the map non-stop. And given the way the lanes are shaping up, I think this is pretty much what most people were kind of expecting. They are going to be sending Niqua down here on the Venomancer as well. So, all in all, I think it's just, if the Shadow Fiend can get a good start, and he goes for that early mech, and you just start deathballing with Queen of Pain ulti and just Dazzle sustain, it's going to be kind of hard to stop.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a lot of this is going to be down to the Shadow Fiend, because in that mid lane, if there's a point where Tiny IO get ahead, Dazzle leaves the lane, SF's got to be careful, because they can burst him down with a 1-2 combo of the Toss Avalanche, but at the same time, as you say, if he gets a decent time on the mech, suddenly the burst of Four Clovers isn't going to be that scary.
Yeah, agreed. So, landing phase, pretty important here for the Radiant side, no question about that. And so far, everything pretty much as expected. Beastmaster versus the Clockwork, except they're actually in the safe lane. Looks like both teams wanted to try to go for a little bit of dodging here. And then bottom, I'm not sure about putting both heroes down here. I guess at the end of the day, the Clockwork Beastmaster matchup is going to go kind of a wash. Whoever is the better player should kind of come out ahead. Maybe Beastmaster has a slight edge. But, and bottom, I would probably rather just Niqua get all the experience at this point, you know? Just have Saksa secure some runes, maybe do a little bit of extra harassment, because when he hits level 2, he can actually help kill. You get like a good kinetic field into a toss and an avalanche, and you can easily get first blood here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think as well, in terms of just leaving the Disruptor down bottom, kill potential isn't going to be that great. You're against well, the fact that Undying's kind of frontlining at the moment. You know, one's going to be able to blink away the crop. The Undying, yeah, you're going to be able to tick him down slowly, but it's going to give him the chance to get the decays back out, and it's going to be hard to find a kill without any kind of burst damage or control there. I'm going to see just a glimpse back there to secure the ring for the side of Four Clovers. Saxa will pick himself up a Disruptor. Sorry, a double damage on the Disruptor. But yeah, this top lane, as you're talking about, the fact that Pycat, I mean, at the moment, it's very close, 9-2, 8-for-1. And you've got to remember that Mag himself, he is a very proficient Beastmaster player. So if there was anyone that was going to understand how to lane against the Beastmaster, it would be Mag, of course.
I definitely agree. The other thing, too, is, like I mentioned, this lane is maybe like 60-40 or 55-45 in favor of Beastmaster.
Yeah, based on the heroes.
Yeah, but it's so close that if both players are equal skill, I think they just both kind of get their farm. It's not really one lane where you can super outplay anybody. Like maybe Mag can use his cogs more liberally and try to burn mana, but it only costs 15 mana to summon a boar, and you get that from a stick charge every time you pop cogs, so it's like no real point.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think as well, maybe when they both hit 6, it'll be a little bit scarier for both in terms of the initiations and the control. But at the same time, I don't think we'll see Mag getting himself in a position where he's going to be low enough for a Roar and the Boars to be able to bring him down bottom lane. Moving in onto Niqua here, does turn around, gets off the Gale, and there'll be the glimpse back onto the crops, and Niqua's going to be alright. And I think at this point as well, really, in terms of dual lane versus dual lanes, Vegas is looking a lot scarier.
Yeah, for sure. But the thing is, 4CL are probably in the mindset right now of these heroes that are in the offlane do not need farm. They just need levels. Okay. Like Disruptor needs 6. Niqua obviously wants like 7 or 8, so you can get that Poison Nova, get your max Plague Ward going, and then you can try to stop the Death Ball that Vega are putting together by just having that ulti. And Soxa needs to be careful here, he could be dead.
He's looking for the turnaround. Won't quite find the first blood. It's going to be Vega getting it, so even though they turn, Quap's going to tick fairly low. They don't get the return kill, and as we were saying just before that happened, just the Vega duel being a bit stronger there than the Four Clovers.
Yeah, but it's still alright. I mean, giving away the first blood, not an ideal start for 4CL, but Niqua is still getting a lot of EXP. The lane has been by the tower pretty much the entire time, because that ward they put inside of the jungle blocks a small camp. It didn't get dewarded, so they're not able to really get the control that they want out of it. Early 6 on a Venomancer can be a huge deal, actually, for 4CL.
Yeah, I mean, as you said, in terms of grouping up and pushing as a team, both are going to have that point where they do it. Obviously, Shadow Fiend, if he does go for the mech, gets a decent timing on that, and they've got a good lineup to do it with as well. They've got the 6 on the clock. When that comes around, he can join in, look to start the fights and force the aggression around the south. And bottom lane, Niqua is going to go down. Passion leaps forward there. They've dropped the tombstone, and he will be able to reset the aggro only just. He's going to tick very low, but he should be fine there. And again, well, mid lane, there's going to be the toss back onto no one. Thunderstrike is on him, but the Shallow Grave comes out. Sacks are moving forward. It's only level 1 glimpse. Can't find the range, and no one's going to be able to get him. So, okie dokie! Okie dokie! Bambo. There we go, and top lane, well, it's kicking off as well. Pikeout throws out the axes, the ball slows onto man, but he gets the call out. It doesn't matter. Ball reaches over, finds the kill. So after 4 Clovers lose 2 kills in the earlier few minutes, they get themselves 2 back, and on some 2 high priority heroes as well in the mid lane and on the off lane.
It's very surprising that Mag actually died in that 1v1. Even more surprising that he doesn't have a stick. Like, Beastmasters are going to be summoning boars and hawks like all over the place during the early game. I think like 1 or 2 stick charges could have easily saved him there. A little bit strange, but he did opt to go for the Tranquils straight away. And like you mentioned, he does know the matchup very well because he is a very, very good Beastmaster player himself, so I'm sure he knows more about what he's doing. But how did Bambo get vision for that toss, by the way?
It was a massive range.
Was it still
toss.
Thunderstrike on him? Was that how we saw him?
I guess so. It must have been the Thunderstrike giving the vision. But it seemed like it was an insane range. It was pretty much from the river, so between the tier 1 and the tier 2.
I think toss is like 1300, isn't it?
It's pretty massive,
It's massive.
But nonetheless, obviously with that kill as well, as we can see in gold, he's very close to picking up a blink dagger on this Tani as well, which is we see Bambo don't this. He pretty much always gets the blink first on Tiny because he just wants to go and with that blink he can certainly do that. We've already been talking about the fact that you get level 6 onto the Veno, you're gonna look to try and fight with the poison Nova, and having a Tiny with a blink is gonna be pretty scary for Vega, especially as 6 minutes in. They're nowhere near to having that point where they've got the mech on the Shadow Fiend.
Now that's just it. You get stun toss.
Yeah.
You're just dead. And level 2 poison sting lasts for 9 seconds, so if the Veno auto attacks and you get a poison nova on you, even with Grave, if you don't get outside healing, you could still die because that stun toss combo is going to put you extremely low. And top lane Mag is going to eat another roar here. It's going to be another death.
Yeah, Saxa comes in with a rotation. There'll be a TP in from Dazzle. It's a little bit too late. Not in time to save the clock. Bottom lane, Pasha moving on to Niqua. He's going to go for the TP out, and that's the smart move there. Nothing to cancel it. Already talked about Vega's lack of lockdown in the draft, and that's one way that 4 Clovers can try and play around it there with the TPs.
Bambo's hit his blink timing here. It's 7 minutes into the game.
Not bad.
As long as he has the IO around to just give him the mana regeneration from the bottle, they can just go in. And the thing is, the Shadow Fiend's in kill range right now. Okay, he just got his treads. Never mind. That helps. If he's at full HP with strength treads on, I think he could potentially live, but he's gonna need a TP if they go for the dive.
Yeah, and a good point as well to point out. 7 minutes in EGM. He's very close to level 6 here on the IO. He's about halfway through level 5, so Relocate is going to be online very, very, very shortly.
This is the Shadow Fiend dream. You walk into the jungle, you got an Undying who just drops a tombstone for you, and you kill a huge stack.
Is he going to look for some action down bottom? No, he's just clearing out the smaller camp as well here. Niqua has hit 6 here, so of course Pasha has as well, level 7 on this crop, and Sonic Wave is there. Bambo came in for the rotation, but there's a ward there, has been pinged as well by Bambo, so they should be able to take that one off the map if they wish to do so. He's just picking up a stick and a smoke as well, so realizing that Vega, they're going to be pretty much on top of the vision game, and he is going to need a smoke really if he wants to try and catch out one of these cores in the side lanes.
Well, the nice thing is they have Roar, Relocate's going to be up soon, they got Hawk Vision, and Blink. So everything that they need for the early game, barring maybe the Disruptor hitting level 6. Sox is only level 4 right now. Once he gets there, they're going to have really, really good fighting potential. So for Vega, this is the point of the game where it starts to get a little scary. We are going to see the hook shot.
Yes, indeed, and Mambo he'll turn around, toss his mag out of the cogs here. He'll break himself out, and then a blink forward there with a glimpse back as well. A little bit of an awkward one, but they should still be able to find this. Chasing it down, they've got the Shallow Grave. They're going to hang around with Mag though. Tombstone has been dropped, so we'll see if Vega can turn this. Mag being healed up, he's still alive for the last point, but then the heal again, Mag's still up. He's okay, they're finally getting with the Avalanche, but they've already lost the Disruptor, they've lost the Veno as well, and they may lose more. Solo moving in, the Io and Tiny happy separated, no one's looking for EGM. Now the TP and Bambo blinks up to the north, no one's there with the blind raises, he's going to fly one and he's going to find two. Double kill here for the Shadow Fiend as he takes down the Tiny as well at the end of that fight. And a bit of a mess there, unfortunately, for 4 Clovers. They couldn't get the kill quick enough on clock. That just gave time for the side of Vega to turn up to the party. And we've already talked about the fact that with Vega's lineup, they're going to want to fight early on. And we can see there quite clearly, coming out on the edge at the back of that one.
Now, Sox being too low level kind of hurt them there because he had to glimpse at an earlier point where that was prior to Mag getting tossed into the river. So the glimpse actually came too early. Had he glimpsed when he already got tossed, then it would have been in a better position to actually get the kill. But they had to run uphill, and then the Dazzle, because they were running that direction, was in range from teleporting to the tower. It's just a little bit of bad luck. One more second on the glimpse, and they would have had that kill easily. Could have been able to disengage as well. But first real engagement that we've seen so far, Vega holding their own quite well. Dazzle's actually level 6 too on top of that, which is pretty fast level 6 for him.
It's not bad at all. Obviously we saw Dazzle there making some big plays, keeping the team alive in these fights. And of course the Pycat build boy is going to be going for that Necro book. Just looking for that final bit of recipe gold to have that one online. And well, for the side of Vega, we saw them. Oh.
Bambo wants
Is he going to find Maggot? Yeah, he is. There's the toss package. The rest of the team, Pycat and Saxa finish off the kill. That's the free kill there for the side of 4 Clovers. Should be a free tower as well. Still have the fort, but Vega not in a position to fight at the moment. And yeah, nicely done by Bambo.
It is so hard to defend towers against Hawk Vision when there's a blink initiator on the other team, especially one who can throw you out of position. That makes it even more difficult. If they tower dive you, okay, maybe you can get a teleport reaction from your Dazzle and he saves you. In that situation, you are dead no matter who TPs. Like, you'd have to have full Power Rangers, I think, to scare Forciel in that situation. So good pick up there to get the tower. Relocate here, bottom lane. Blinks down. They're very far though.
It is a little bit far, but they'll still find the toss. Avalanche combo. Pasha ticking low. Can he blink out? No, 3 seconds to blink. Not going to be short enough. He's down now with the wrong Dazzle. They'll look for more. 4 Clovers move in.
Right.
Take themselves a double there for Sexy Bambo. They get the relocate back in time. There's going to be Nikwa in the middle lane, getting blown up by the Requiem. But Bambo, he didn't quite have the Avalanche. He did have a toss, but looks like he wanted to just let the SF go there. Didn't feel confident in terms of bursting him down. But nonetheless, 2 for 1 across the board. Nikwa, he's been dying quite a bit. But it's all good, you know, we can still see a fight where he comes in with a big poison over top lane. Solo, he's in trouble, Thunder strikes out, they'll get blink forward with the combo. With the balls as well from EGM, no escape here for Solo. And 4 Clovers at the moment, 8 for 6, making things happen across the map. Bottom lane, Pycat, he may be the pay, but there's no glimpse, bring in Mag, away from Pycat. Pycat's going to be fine for the time being, but Mag's moving back in. The ball slow, trapping him in the kinetic kill, but Pasha comes in with the scream. Sonic Wave onto Saxa as well. They're going to look for the cleanup here. Nico's turned up with the rocket flare from Mag. Will finish off Disruptor. So they get themselves a couple down here, keeping themselves in it, and 8 for 8, 12 minutes in. I think this is pretty much the kind of game we expected with these lineups. Fight, fight, fight. Bottom lane, Shallow Grave coming out, and me thanks. Solo's going to come in as well. Poison touch now with the zombies out. They'll try and chase this one down. But where's your stuns? You just don't need them. You don't need them. Dazzle with the heal bomb. All right. Who needs stuns when you just kill them like that, Andy?
Yeah, I think if he popped his wand and was on strength treads, maybe he lives. But he wasn't expecting that kind of damage output. That's a level 3 Shadow Wave, so that stuff hurts, man.
Damn.
Tiny doesn't have that high of armor, and by that I mean he has 1.
It's yeah, it's not a lot.
But Mech now finished up on the Shadow Fiends, so they can begin the death falling, as it were. They don't have Queen ulti right now, but they do have Hookshot. They're getting some aggressive wards down.
Oh, Mag. He's there on the sideline, ready to fight with the boys. Solo, me thanks away as well on the ready if he wants to go for it, Saxa. Yeah, I think he might want to try and get EGM when he comes away from this creep wave. Bambo is there, so they can turn. Just getting the flare out, just seeing if they can see anything in the sidelines here. Doesn't quite get vision in Equate. In fact, it's Bambo blinking forward here with the combo. Now Matt Pasha with the turn gets the slow onto Saxa with the kinetic fields drop. Now hookshot forward, he gets the Cosmo to do. Nico with the poison over the sideline and hits a few of them. They've already lost Eye, they've lost the Disrupt as well. Looks like they lose Bambo here. 3 kills for the side of Vega. They might find more. Pasha blinks forward, gets the slow onto Nico. No one's moving in as well. The Hastrun should be able to blow out the Venno as well, and that's going to be a 4th one for the side of Vega. This time, 4 Clovers finding nothing in return. You got Pike out looking for a bit of a push on the top lane with the Necro book, but a really nice fight from Vega in the mid lane, just catching 4 Clovers off guard. And even with the Poison Nova, when it comes out when the rest of the team's already dead, it's just not enough from 4 Clovers at this point.
Well, a couple of things went wrong there. Like, first and foremost, Saksa still not level 6. It's almost 14 minutes in, he's level 5. He needs Static Storm, like 100%. The only reason that Queen of Pain feels safe blinking in that position is obviously if they had the ward, but he doesn't have Storm. So there's no risk of you blinking it. You can get great.
Oh, that is a beautiful glimpse.
Yeah, good kill.
Beautiful glimpse. Saxa hiding in the trees. Sets up for Bambo as he TP's in. Very nicely done there by the Disruptor. And that's, is that going to put him on his 6? He's got to be very close now.
He's like there. 200
He's nearly
some
there.
odd experience away, yeah.
Yeah, level 2 Necro now. Pike
they haven't really reached their full potential as like a skirmishing team yet as 4CL, so as soon as a Static Storm is available, I think fights will go a lot better for them. And the other thing too is Vega's team is built for the 5 versus 5, even though we saw the potential of the Poison Nova damage coming out from the last engagement. It just wasn't ideal. Like, you're down a hero, you don't have one of your most powerful teamfight utilities yet. 4CL were not prepared to defend that, and they tried to anyway, so just a little bit of a mistake. But they will get the tier 1 bottom, and maybe, just maybe, Saksa will hit level 6.
Maybe.
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I'll say he'll hit 6.
Let's see what the plan is now from 4 Clovers 5. Heroes coming towards the bottom. On the SF, they did pick up an Ogre Club. I imagine this is one of those games where he's going to go straight for BKB. We see a lot of SFs go for the SMY, but BKB's going to be massive this game. And here we go, straight up into the high ground. The wall comes down to Solo. Shallow Grave as well. No one looking for the record for the low grab, but they're going to be able to back up 4 Clovers. Probably want to try and move back in. Solo to get a lit Bambo from the back with the Avalanche toss. And it's funny when it comes down on top of them. Lordy lost 2. It's a double kill for Bambo. They do take down the Tiny though, Vega. Now they look to try and get themselves up. Maybe that's a funny gem as well, but no, the double cross is the first thing to be enough. No! It's not. EGM is going to be able to survive here. Stays alive with Nikwa, so they'll only lose the Tiny here. They did find 2. I think that will be it for the fight. 4 Clovers are going to back up. Overall, 4 Clovers getting a slight edge in gold and XP. Well, it was a big kill for the side of Vega to get, but losing 2 heroes in return for it, not the ideal trade. And let's get him find Pike out as well. I mean, Max with a hook shot, right? Hooks the back of his own creep there, not the plan. Poison Nova now comes down to Mag, and he's been slowed to high heaven as well. Mag, in his own cogs, isn't going to be able to keep himself alive. They'll lose the Clockwork. And now, well, off the back of that, that was very, very favourable for the side of 4 Clovers getting Clockwork as well.
That was an interesting hook from Mag. A rare misplay from him. Usually you don't see that kind of stuff coming out, and unfortunately they didn't even see the support that were behind them, even with that ward, so... Like you were saying, nice kill for 4CL. Bambo now has got his hands on the Force Staff. This is where he starts to become a really big nuisance. Imagine in the last fight he has Force Staff. When he gets relocated in behind them, he probably would have been able to, at the very least, Force Staff away, maybe to the high ground, to where he doesn't get killed. And then he gets another Blink Initiation maybe as they're chasing, because at that point you'd have 2 heroes dead on the side of Vega, you'd still all be alive. And then things get really hectic, I think, for Vega, and that's the kind of team fights that 4CL thrive in.
Yes, I think one thing as well, it kind of feels like from Vega with the Quat, she's been focusing the farming rather than the being involved in the team fights. We saw her come up to the mid lane, but I think Pasha, there's the potential for him to be more involved, especially now he's got the Orchid. I think that's what they were kind of waiting for on this Queen of Pain. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Vega force more fights now, because the last few have all kind of been 4 Clovers looking to try and find the aggression. I mean, they're not going to stop themselves because they're moving around towards the mid lane with Bambo. Not going to find anything though, as Vega are looking towards taking that tier 1 at the top lane.
Yeah, they see everyone rotating with that ward. It's a very nice ward to have at this early stage, just seeing the movement before your tier 1s drop. So on the side of 4CL, they have every teamfight utility they need now. They have Book 3, they're going to be popping it to kill Roshan here. This is a really nice trade. You do not want to give a 5-man team like Vega the opportunity to get Roshan on their side, because what if that Shadow Fiend picks up BKB, and Vega know it too. They got vision.
Can they get there in time though? They have got a hook shot here if he wants to go for the play mag. Pasha, oh, that's a lovely Sonic wave. Hook shot onto Nico, but Tiny, he's already picked up the Aegis. Static Storm gets dropped, but the Raw Sneak with a loot. Pasha and Mag, double kill for Pikecat. He gets the roar over them. Solo, he's trying to get himself in, but now there's a glimpse back onto Shadow Fiend. So Shadow Fiend's been taking out the fight. They got the Avalanche toss combo onto the Undying. They're putting themselves up a 3rd kill. Saxa, seeing if we can find anything. If they want to try and go for more Bambo and EGM, they're going to start to move into the Radiant jungle. No one is actually going to decide to farm here, but that might not be the play, because Tiny's going to walk in. in with the 1-2, gets the toss up. Dazzle still hanging around on the sidelines here. Still only these two alive for the side of Vega. Bambo's trying to move in. There's going to be a Requiem from the sidelines, catches out to all three, but with a 4-star 4, Bambo gets the punch down onto Dazzle. Should be able to find him here, but the Shadow Grave is going to make it a little bit harder. This will buy the space for no one to get out, but they will almost certainly get the Dazzle kill here. So they end up effectively killing 4 of the heroes on Vega. They get the Roshan, and they get the Aegis as well. So another very nice fight there for 4 Clovers.
That was such a nice fight for 4CL because of 2 things. Like, I think Pycat originally was going to try to pick up the Aegis, but then he saw that Bambo had Orchid on and he was super low. So he lets Bambo pick up the Aegis instead. Then he immediately respawns. The Static Storm from Saksa was perfect. The Dazzle couldn't get a Grave off, so Pycat's Roar ended up getting a kill on one of the more important heroes, in the beginning of the fight. So at that point, Vega already lost the engagement. They didn't even kill the tier 1 because they realized that Roshan is more important at this stage of the game for them. At the very least, taking it away from 4CL. So at the end of the day, the Deathball lineup doesn't get their hands on the Roshan. That's huge for 4CL. It lets them draw the game out. And a late game Tiny is still very scary for Vega to deal with, even if it's like the kind of clowny Tiny that Bambo likes to play, which is a high mobility. He is actually getting a point booster here.
Okay.
So he's leaning more towards the Aghanims, where typically he goes for more of the Shadow Blade play.
He does. He likes to pick up his funky stuff. Nikra, talking about iron pickups, has got the blink now onto this Venomancer as well. We've seen a few...
God.
Ooh, okay, nice silence,
Orchid.
just to make sure nothing else comes of it. But hang on, Pycat goes straight in with the blink. Right to Passion, Meg comes up and on. They just turn onto the Beastmaster. They'll find when the Poison Nova has come out to 2. EGM on the sidelines, tethers across the fight. They've got to be a little bit careful here. No one is solo will continue to push forward. They take the tower. BKB is now done on this Shadow Fiend. You've got Blade Mail on the clockwork. It'll be the relocate back out there on EGM, so he's fine. But now with the Beastmaster down, Vega, I don't think they'll see any reason to hold off this push, and they might start to go all in now. They'll look for the tier 2. I think 4 Cloves are just going to have to let this one go down.
That was a really weird initiation there from Pycat. He goes in and he assumes, like, okay, book 3 Roar, I should be able to kill this Queen of Pain, but then he's like, oh yeah, they have Mech and Dazzle?
Yep.
It's a pretty optimistic engagement, to say the least. So
it was
they're gonna
very optimistic.
They're going to get punished fairly hard for this. There's a 10-second BKB on the Shadow Fiend as well.
Yeah.
I think Vega don't have any qualms trying to breach high ground right now. Plague Wards are going to be annoying, but they know Poison Nova is down. It was just used in the bottom team fight. That's 2 minutes and 20 seconds where they're not going to have that team fight utility, and they may need it.
This is, I mean, the push is coming in. The weave's starting to tick up on the side of Vega. They've dropped the Tombstone as well. Let's see if 4 Clovers have what it takes to fight into it. As you said, they may be lacking a bit. They've already lost the tier 3. But again, Quad with the timing. Mag with a hook shot across. There's a Roar to no one, but he did get out of the BKB, and there's just no follow-up from the side of 4 Clovers. They'll lose Nico here on the Venomancer. Now the mech's being popped. Vega still staying here on the high ground, tanking it up. Requiem coming out from no one, just kind of taunting from the sidelines. And, well, 4 Clovers moving in. They'll get the Blenders back onto Solo here. Pasha, he silences up Saxa here, looking on the side. He's going to try and TP out, but they've got the battery assault. They'll find Disruptor, Blaze back straight away. And Solo's still alive here. Solo rips himself. He's going to be fine here on the Undying, walking out of it. Pasha's still in the middle of the fight. Ring forward, but won't quite get trapped in the kinetic field. They still have the toss, though. They'll bring down the Queen of Pain. We'll see if they're able to find anything more here. Moving forward, but it looks like Vega are going to be there with the TPs out. Mags are going to be able to get away, and no one should be able to walk it off down the bottom lane as well. So they do get the tier 3, they do force out a buyback, and 4 Clovers do manage to defend their racks here on the bottom for the end of the day. For the time being, at least.
I suppose, like, a Disruptor buyback isn't the biggest investment, right?
No.
Like, it sucks. He was a little bit out of position. There was a ward on the high ground from Vega that spotted him out when he was walking outside of base, so he just got blinked on and then obviously silenced right away, so there was no spells coming out from him. But I think only losing to tier 3 is a good thing for 4CL.
That's not the worst.
Because when they started that fight, like, Bambo blinks in, Pasha's on point with his Orchid, stops the combo from coming out. He's already at half HP by the time he has to get out, and he's like, alright, I gotta go heal. They wasted Roar and didn't get anything from it.
No.
And then Vega could have easily just, like, stuck around and been like, okay, let's try to actually get some real damage dealt here, but they are gonna fall back. It gives no one a lot of extra farm, too. I mean, this guy is huge right now.
Yeah, I mean, talking about the cause of Vega as well, we've seen the crop. I mean, every fight, the silences have been huge, as obviously there's no sign of any BKB or anything.
Okay. That's a dieback.
All right. We didn't expect that one.
Why was he there? I'm actually so confused. Maybe he was just trying to leech XP or something, I'm not sure. But it's a tower trade. 4CL going for the tier 2, as are Vega, both in the safe lane.
Now the question is, can 4CL force them back here? It is a tiny hitting onto your tower, so he doesn't have the axe out.
I definitely think they do.
You've got to come back, Vega. You've got to get back, because your base is a bit of trouble here.
He wasted his stuff.
Okay, Mag, forcing forward Bambo. Okay, he's still in the middle of this. No one looks for the Requiem here. Pykat's going to try for the TP out, but they've got the battery assault. They'll be able to find the Beastmaster here. Looks like EGM and Bambo will escape. But I mean, they got the reaction they kind of wanted from Vega. They forced them back, stops Vega from pushing in on the top lane, and they don't lose the Tiny here.
Getting the tier 3 was nice.
Yeah.
I also believe they did force a glyph, which means that relocate Tiny with Aghanims is going to be up in about 500 gold. That's always going to be something that Vega are going to have to look to, because 4CL will make that play.
Oh, yeah.
They are not the kind of team who is going to just sit in their base and try to defend. They will see you pushing, and they'll say, like, alright, fine, we'll just trade. We only have to commit 2 heroes to kill your barracks. Not really a big deal. I think Vega also are kind of realizing this. They see that Bambo is probably really close to finishing up that Aghanims. They got the SNY now onto the Shadow Fiend, so they're probably just going to try to deal some good damage here. There is Glyph from 4CL. All of their ultimates are up, except for Roar, and Book is down for 30, so there's a little bit of time, but we should assume that 4CL will have everything available for this fight.
It's going to be interesting to see if they do. I mean, as you said...
Did they even keep going?
What, the side of Vega?
I think it's kind of hard right now to fight into.
Yeah, I mean, I guess waiting for Roche maybe before you try it. They're not necessarily in a rush, really, with Vega's lineup. The fact that the SF, as you were saying earlier, is so doing so well in terms of item progression. The fact that he's, what, 3k ahead of Bambo's farm at the moment.
Yeah,
but at the same time, you could argue Tiny needs less to do as much as a Shadow Fiend 24 minutes in, and the fact that he does have an axe, it is a scary amount of burst. He's tanking up with the SMY and the BKB, but if he just gets soloed out, they get the focus with the Necro units and the Roar as well. He's still got to be careful. I mean, up and down, the differences have been going in net worth and XP, but the biggest lead so far in the game, 4k for the side of Vega. Tiny and I are going to start to move down the bottom lane, but I don't think they're going to be able to get that lane pushed in far enough to be an issue for Vega, because Vega themselves, they're knocking on the door here of 4 Clovers in the mid lane.
And this time it will be 4CL who are the ones who have to come back. The thing is, at this stage in the game,
okay, that's a nice hook shot from Max, straight across, Sonic Wave as well. There'll be a Requiem coming out, but it does get cancelled by the roll from Pycat. No one got the BKB off. They'll look for the second one. It just continues to hold 4 Clovers back at the edge of this fight.
They gotta run.
BKB down on SF, they've got to be careful. Looks like he can't quite find the mag. If they can get someone up on the high ground, they should be able to get the clockwork if they want to. Vega, they still want to fight here. No one is out of mana. Just going in with the punches. EGM backs off. The Static Storm traps them solo. 4 Cloves, they're being very careful about this fight though.
They need to run out.
Okay, Poison Nova gets onto Dazzle Knight. In fact, all 4 of them. But the Razzies come through. They'll kill the Venomancer, but he's already got off the ult onto 4 people. So we'll see if they can find more passion moving forward, but now with the toss combo onto the co-op, they do find the Queen of Pain, and that's a big kill buyback in fact for Nikwe here. There'll be a smoke up just to avoid the glimpse. They're trying to get themselves into break the smoke. Solid Glimmer Capes as well. Sacks are moving forward. Glimpse in 6 seconds here. They could find no one. The ball slow is on him. He doesn't have BKB. Bambo blinks forward here. Gets the Avalanche tossed out. Is there going to be a grave in time? Yes, there is. Gets it down to no one. He turns around. Kills the Disruptor. He's going to look for more. Trying to punch him against Bambo. Is the Great going to last long enough? They're healing up. The Shadow Fiend is not enough. They'll lose SF. They'll lose Solar here as well as Bambo. Should be able to find the final slap. Double kill for the Tiny. Max moving forward. The Battery Assault. They've still got the Dazzle as well. His Glimmer Caped up. The axes come across. It's not enough to kill Dazzle or Mag. And Mag are looking for more. They found the Tiny, and they find Pycat as well. The ball's coming out with the slow. Mag just turns around. He's just rolled up by Pycat. He'll find one with the ball slow as well. He may just be able to find Dazzle as well. He's incredibly low on mana. IO's coming in as well. EGM with his bulls.
The board tether, dude.
Yep, they should Okie. That's how you get the slows out. He's got a Glimmer Cape. It's not going to be enough. Level 3 Necro comes out. They get the vision. Double kill for Pycat. Some very nice Beastmaster play there at the end. And Clockwork and Dazzle sticking around looking for an easy kill. Doesn't end up being that easy for Vega at all.
Now that blink from Pasha was really, really aggressive, I guess if you want to call it that. When they saw the Static Storm being wasted on solo, I think that Vega felt very confident being able to take the engagement. But as you saw, Nikwa managed to blink in, landed a really nice Poison Nova, kind of put them back into it. And then as soon as Pasha blinks in, doesn't silence the Tiny, and then just gets combo killed, all of a sudden your team fight looks a lot more bleak. Because you have 2 heroes who don't really do a lot. Tombstone had already been used at that point. Dazzle can really only heal and healthy sustain. And your only damage output is your Shadow Fiend. So if the Shadow Fiend gets kited, which is pretty much what happened, then he can't really hit a target long enough to get kills, and it's not really on him. It's more just the Queen of Pain couldn't afford to trade her life in that manner in that fight. So it kind of put them in a really awkward spot, and ForceCL will be more than happy to take advantage of that.
Absolutely. I mean, in terms of team fight, though, Vega about to step it up with a couple of big iron pickups. One already come out, one round the corner. Pipe is now on your Undying, and I believe the Co-op's also just a couple of hundred gold away from an Aghanims here as well. So in terms of kind of catching them out, if they can find the old 1-2 with the Sonic Wave, something like the hook shot to lead through, and they've got the pushing power off the back of it, but still at 28 minutes, this game feeling incredibly close between these two sides, as both have proven that they can come out on top of a 5v5 engagement.
This could be the fight that turns the game, though. I think a good Poison Nova and a good Static Storm could easily win it here for 4CL. Hook shot.
Ooh, yes, they see the Venom. They've got to kill the Venom before he can get out. Poison Nova, can he get it out? It's been silent. Steps on him, way coming through. They kill him. They kill him before the ult comes out. Now Vega there at the upper hand. Dazzle moving backwards. Pasha moving forward. Jumps forward. Saxon Pike edging off to the side. Bambo still seeing if he can find a way to jump in. But that's pretty big. We saw that straight away. As soon as they got the vision that Venno, Mag was straight in with a hook shot. They know that if that Venno's alive, Four Clovers are going to feel much more confident jumping in for a 5v5.
It was great awareness from Mag. Like that plays might have single-handedly ensured them winning this team fight. They did have a freshly completed pipe up on solo, so even though the Poison Nova could have been there, part of it would have been mitigated. Again, Soxa, he goes for the Static Storm on the Dazzle most fights just to try to prevent Grave, because the Clockwork is always going to initiate, and dropping it on him doesn't really do you any good. And of course, no one has a BKB. So your targets really are Queen of Pain and Dazzle most of the time is just the easier target. And plus, if you drop the Static Storm,
this is what Vega have to be worried about. Any lane that gets pushed up to their doors, Tiny Eye are going to be straight in there. Pasha comes through with a Sonic Wave onto Bambo. If we relocate back out, is it going to be there in time? Well, EGN though, just walking it off with Bambo, skipping to the side. There we go. Ticks back in. They do manage to get themselves out. So we do see the power there. Vega themselves, they're going, you may have done a bit to our tier 3. We're going to go for some on your racks. BKB has come out and returned to Nico, popping out the Poison Nova. See if we can find anything here. But Dazzle's got the Glimmer Cape. Pinecat's moving in as well. Going to be the shallow grade TP out here from Dazzle. It's going to pay off as well. The kinetic field just a little bit off mark. Doesn't get them the vision. So Dazzle's out. They've still got the slow here onto no one. Pycat has got that roar here with the night vision. Looks like they're going to go for the wrong way of pushing. The Bulls now come out. They know that the Shadow Fiend's on the sidelines. Bambo's there as well. Shadow Fiend trying to turn onto Nico, but Nico gets forced away. He's going to be fine. Blink away from Bambo. Now Pasha moves forward. Should be able to find one. Finds the Venom out to Saxon. Trying to go spot Mag. The roars come out to Pasha. He's stuck in the Static Sword with the Necrounus as well. Pycat finds the kill, but look at the damage here from Shadow Fiend. He's managed to take down a second. Saxon's trapped up in the side. The Rocket Flare comes out. It's a double kill for no one. And just, if they can't kill this Shadow Fiend in the fight, he's just going to turn around. He's got the punches and make short work here at the rest of the side of Four Clovers. I mean, you got Bambo and EGM trying to push down these other lanes, but they'll almost certainly have to back up if Vega start to go in aggressive. I think that was the Aghanims as well, finished up on Clockwork. He at least looked very close to it at the moment. Yeah,
he's got it.
Axe on Clock as well. I mean, that's going to be big. We've seen it every time. If Mag can get that hook shot onto the Venno at the start of these fights, it's very hard for Four Clovers to win them.
I really do think that they were too dependent on the Venno and the Disruptor to land good ultis at this stage in the game. It's actually very difficult for Soxa to come into a fight and find a good Static Storm target, because if the Dazzle is there, anyone that you Static Storm is going to get graved, more or less, unless they need the grave for the Shadow Fiend, which hasn't been the case because no one's just so damn farmed that no one can get him low. And that's also with the addition of Weave.
How much money he's got?
Yeah, he's got 5k. He can go back for Lifesteal, he can go AC, Butterfly, like... There are a multitude of options, any of which at this stage are going to be good. He could even go Scotty if he wants. If he wants to just go for like the kiting tiny build.
Yeah, he's got the
okay, so it's Butterfly.
Yeah. Oh, there's a refresher on Pycat though. I mean, that could be the key to taking down this Shadow Fiend.
This is a really, really big purchase for him. It means that he can basically commit a roar to the Dazzle every fight that refresher is up and ensure that no grave comes out. That can be a really big deal in winning 4CL an engagement. Because right now, what usually happens is Bambo either has to go for the Dazzle or you have to roar the Dazzle. Otherwise, the target who gets roared just gets graved or Glimmer Caped, and then you're like, okay, well, now we don't deal any damage. But now you can just roar 2 people, so it's whatever.
Oh, lane. You're getting ready to go up to the high ground. You've got a bit of a push coming out from Four Clovers on the top. But we'll see if they get forced back. There is a Hyperstone on Tiny as well as this Ag, so he's going to be punching the racks pretty heavily when the lane gets in.
This is scary.
You got to get back here, Four Clovers. Your Axe are in a bit of trouble.
I don't think they want to fight it. I think they're actually just trading.
Okay, I mean, again, every time. Nicholas just having trouble getting it off. Max hooks into Pyke, pops the refresher, looking for a second roll, does get it out, but he ends up going down himself. 2 down, the damage from no one. They'll get a 3rd kill the other side of Vega. Buyback straight away from the Disruptor. We've got Tiny
in trouble.
They'll find a curry up, they're looking for a tier 3, but they've already lost Mimbrax and Jeff. Vega's just going for it. And 4 Clovers, can they stop this?
Nah, there's no way they kill faster than this.
And they might just lose EGM as well. He'll get forced away, double 4-stars, and they both force him. He's looking for the relocate back to base. They will be able to bring Tiny back, but they've lost 1 tier 4 here, 4 Clovers. Vega still standing strong. They're not quite scared off yet. The Weave's out, ticking up. They'll look to move in with the combo. Will find the crop here. Mambo's starting to walk it back off. No one. He's just going to turn back towards the tier 4. They've got to get this Shadow Fiend off their base. I mean, I don't know if they can at this point. He's got Aegis. Turns to disrupt a Saxa. He's going to go down. The field has come out. No one. Oniqua moves in. Gets a poison over onto 2. No one just passed the Requiem. He'll get the Venom here almost certainly with 1 final right click. They've got Slows in there. He doesn't even care.
It's GG.
I mean, Bambo's not going to give up that easily, though. He might now. Double kill. Okay, he's brought back. He's brought back. He's looking for more. I mean, can
BKB's down. BKB's down.
Come on, guys. Can you stop it? They'll get a toss. No one. I mean, the base is still alive there. Okay, yeah, no,
He's just clicking everyone, dude.
Okay. Oh, they get the roll. They're trying their best. I mean, you've got to give it. Give it to 4 Clovers.
The Aegis just faded, by the way, so if they had been able to kill him like after, like somehow this point, it would have been a pretty clowny series of events. But really nice performance coming out of Vega, even after that Roshan fight where they kind of gave it to 4CL and then engaged anyway. They still managed to pull it back. Their mid-game timing was just a little bit too strong for 4CL. A couple of things that could have went better, like the Disruptor hitting an earlier 6. I can't stress enough how important that was for him.
Yeah.
Like Static Storm in the earlier fights could have given 4CL the momentum they needed to just be like, all right, we can just end the game. You know, like we got Book 3 on Pycat relatively early. He also got Blink on top of that. But after a certain point, Vega stopped splitting up.